So you've gone ahead and taken a look at a ton of my Alpine Park tours, and now you're kind of curious about the community itself, and you're looking to go ahead and move here. What do you need to know? So I'm going to go ahead and cover all of those details here today as we run through the entire Alpine Park neighborhood, what's in the surrounding areas, what does the actual neighborhood look like? Not only that, we're going to go ahead and cover, well, if it's a brand new community, what does it look like in terms of schools, amenities, shopping? Everything will be covered here right now. So we'll go ahead and get started by sending you to the Google map right now. And here we go. And welcome to the Google Earth flyby for Alpine Park. So the whole point of this is to give you an aerial, just bird's eye view of exactly where Alpine Park is in terms of proximity to the city of Calgary and just the rest of the amenities. We also wanted to talk about the access points that are in there. Also, if there are schools that are being used, where are they? And then last but not least, to kind of touch on transit. So we have a lot to unpack. I'm going to get right into this. And so what you see here on the screen is you can see a map of Calgary. You'll see the Calgary International Airport located right up here, followed by the downtown core. Now, before we get into the southern region here of the yellow shaded area where Alpine Park is, I do want to go ahead and touch on one section of the West Calgary Ring Road that is still being worked on. Now, the projected time of completion here is 2024, so it is almost done, and I would expect that by the end of 2024, traffic should be free flowing and you'll have full access to use the entire Ring Road, as the community continues to get built out. Now, as far as the community itself, now it is purchased by Dundee Development, who are now known as Dream. They started off with purchasing just a 320-acre parcel. Over the entire period of them purchasing land, I think they amassed almost 1,800 acres here by the end of their purchases. Now, the community of Alpine Park itself is 476 acres large. As you can see here right on the map, it's fairly large here. There is another community located in this blue shaded region right next to Alpine Park, which is called Vermilion Hills. And this is a completely separate division from what Dream has purchased. This is purchased by Qualco Communities. I will be touching more on the show homes that are there and then also the actual community tour itself later on down the road, so be on the lookout for that. Now, as far as the community is concerned, access to the community is huge. And the reason why I say that is because bottlenecks can happen. And unfortunately, there are a few communities already in Calgary where there are fairly large bottlenecks. And had it been planned out a bit better, it would have worked out really nicely. Now, what I'm looking at right now is these red sections going into the community right over here. So the first one that we see here is the Fish Creek Boulevard, which is 154th Ave Southwest entrance. And that is located right here to my right side, followed by the other access point to get into the community, which is the 162nd Avenue, which is located right over here. So it doesn't matter whether you live, up here, in the further north area, or if you do end up purchasing down here, you will have access to get in and out of the communities without any sort of bottlenecks. Now, the one way that I can really give you, exact timings here is to kind of put a pin spot right into the community. And so I figured the best way to give you just a better idea of where we're currently at is by putting down a pin on where the show home row is. And so that's exactly what I did here with this blue pin mark of where the show home is. As I scroll right into it, you'll see a few of the homes that I've already gone ahead and done tours for on my channel that you can also go ahead and take a look at. You'll see a card also show up here on the screen, so you can go ahead and take a look at those home tours. But this is kind of the starting point of where I'm mapping things out. And as we go ahead and look at what the rest of the community looks like, they will have an entire commercial center built right over here in this circular area. But until it's built, where do you go for any sort of shopping or groceries? Well, that is going to be located right over here in a section called the Taza Exchange. And one of the largest pieces that came in first was this Costco right over here. And this Costco is probably one of the largest that we have here on the west side, and it is extremely busy, but it is located just less than 10 minutes from where you are by driving. And right next to that is another major commercial shopping center, which is called the Shops at Buffalo Run. Now, just to give you an idea of what exactly the Taza Exchange is and what it entails, I'm going to go ahead and move over to the next screen, and that is right over here, which is the Shops at Buffalo Run. So you can kind of see that we're right over here. What is planned here, though, is a proposed outdoor mall. You've got a mixed development coming here as well. Got a massive entertainment complex, another potential resort, and then you've got a complete office district. To the north of that, you already have the Cecina gas station, followed by the police station, an administrative building, and a sports complex. So, as you can imagine, there is a ton of things to do here, whether it's from shopping, any sort of entertainment, sports activities. There is a lot that is going on in this section. The other thing that we have to consider is, well, schools are going to be built out as well. And unlike commercial space, which is already in the developer's plan, schools, well, they're at the mercy of the Calgary Board of Education. So once the Calgary Board goes ahead and decides which schools are going to be put into the community, that's when the schools actually get built out. So where do your kids go to school in the meantime? And I think that's a great thing to look into. Now, there is a community located right over the highway pass here, which is called Evergreen. And so I've gone ahead and highlighted schools that your kids would have access to while the Calgary Board figures out exactly what schools will be in Alpine Park. And so whether you are looking at the Catholic school over here for Our Lady of the Evergreens, the preschool, there's also the elementary school as well. You're looking at anywhere between 8 minutes to about 10 minutes maximum to go ahead and get to these schools in terms of driving. Now, the other part of this to also consider is, well, what does bus and transit access look like? They are still figuring out exactly what bus routes will suffice for the community. However, there are no train routes directly going into Alpine Park or kind of even in that proximity. The closest one that we have here right now is going to be the Fish Creek Lacombe C train station, and that's located right over here, right on McLeod. And in terms of the actual route of it directly from Alpine Park, right where we have the show home, you're probably looking at about 11 minutes on a commute time, a maximum of 15 minutes on the day of traffic. So you can see that highlighted right here in the purple pathway. The other big part about Alpine Park is, well, they do promote the access to the outdoors. That's a big part of what they're known for. So how do you get outdoors, and what does that really look like? So to get a better idea of that, I went ahead and put together kind of routes here in terms of what it looks like from a route to going up to Kananaskis, all the way up to Canmore and then Banff, right? And so this white pathway that you see here is the route to go ahead and get there. And so I've gone ahead and already highlighted the specific neighborhoods here as well for the Kananaskis. Here's one for Canmore, and then here is one for Banff as well. The other side of this is you also have access to Bragg Creek. And so as you go ahead and scroll down to the Bragg Creek route, you can also go ahead and see that as well over here in yellow. And so, you're looking at anywhere between about 31 to about 35 minutes here to also go ahead and get to Bragg Creek. I also wanted to go ahead and showcase the other routes here that are also here. And this map really does a good job of kind of showing you what the estimated time would be to downtown here. So looking at about 16 minutes, about 20 kilometers to downtown. If you are going up to the University of Calgary, you're looking at in between 23 to 22 minutes, 23 minutes to 22 kilometers right there. And then last but not least, you're looking at about 35 to about 40 kilometers, going up to the Calgary airport. So hopefully that will help to go ahead and cover what we're looking at in terms of the various highlights throughout the city and then also through to the mountains.
Founded on the new urbanist principles, community is a big part of the vision. And with community in mind, safety of the residents is a big part of it. Let's go ahead and check out what the developers thought in terms of what they can do to increase safety of their residents. First up, we have sidewalk setbacks. And what does that exactly mean? Well, it does provide extra separation between people that are walking and the cars that are driving on the road. All in all, it makes it much easier for people to walk through the community without having to worry about cars. And it's just also safer too. Plus, if there's somebody that happens to be driving and isn't paying attention, well, there are trees that are there to help prevent injuries. With that, also having the right street width is a big part of this. So having the trees planted along the sides of the sidewalks and plus having the cars routed to the back, well, that right there makes it much more pleasurable to have the kids play out front. And you've got the patios right in the front as well to go out and watch them. Not only that, there are also pedestrian-only spaces. And this makes life much easier by avoiding cars, especially for children. There are also curb bump outs, and they're used pretty much throughout the community. And ideally what this does is it helps to increase pedestrian visibility and encourage vehicles to make a slow turn. There's also couplet entry roads, which is very unique. And I kind of want to go ahead and highlight this a little bit further because of just how this is designed. So take a look at this. As we go and scroll down, option C is exactly what they've gone ahead and utilized. And so what this means is that they provide a space of value on 3 areas of the roadway for the north, south, and within the middle of the couplet. So the crossings, ideally, they're shorter and they're much more easier for pedestrians to go and cross. Not only that, with having a front porch, you always have eyes on the street. The homes are also fire smart as they do have the James Hardy or stucco siding. Plus, the grid pattern of the entire road is incredible, and you'll see that in my drive-through. There's not any random dead-end cul-de-sacs or anything kind of hindering navigation. And last but not least, there's night lighting. This makes the pathways so much more safer as you're walking through them.
So I wanted to end off this tour in being able to showcase what the actual community looks like by doing an in-car tour. And so we're at the absolute north end of Alpine Park. I wanted to go ahead and really showcase what these homes look like when they're all put together and the community is kind of coming together. So we're starting off here on the north end of Alpine Park. To our left, right before the stop sign, is the storm drain. And as we go ahead and take a right over here, we'll start to get into the actual community of it. Please pardon the camera here, it kind of blurs in and out, so don't mind that. But as we start to drive, we're gonna go ahead and get into the main area of where Alpine Park is, and that's essentially called the Show Home Row. And this area has all of the homes that are done by either Calbridge, Cardell, or Homes by Dream. And so you'll see that there's the court homes, you'll also find the vintage homes, and then you will also find laned homes as well on this road. I think one of the things that I absolutely love about Alpine Park is just the modern design and what they've gone ahead and done to really kind of bring that mountain life with the urban look. And as you look straight down, you'll see a 3-story laned home, and it just, the styling on this home is absolutely impeccable. You'll also see here on the sidewalks, as we talked about previously, that there are additional barriers. They've really thought about safety. They've thought about pathways, making sure that the community is completely connected. And I think that's a big part of the complete build out. Keep in mind that this was filmed in essentially November of 2023. So as the construction continues, you'll see much more of this fill out. We are currently in phase 1 and 2. That's what we're driving through. And then as you continue to look forward here, you'll see that little bridge kind of overlook. That's phase 3 and phase 4. The other type of home that you'll also find in Alpine Park will be townhomes, and they're being done by Genesis. Also, as you look straight across here, and then as we turn left, you'll also kind of see a completely large field here that is getting serviced, and that is where the largest commercial center is being built out. It's going to have everything that you can imagine. Now, what you'll see here to our left is the townhomes that are by Genesis Homes. They are currently starting anywhere between $550 and working their way up depending on the type of floor plan, but they certainly are available. And as we continue to look forward, you'll see that the commercial center will continue even past the stop sign right where the road closed sign is. As we go ahead and take a left, you'll notice that the entrance to Alpine Park currently is to our right where the detour sign is, and that is the one pathway getting in. In addition, you will see the city to our right side, and you'll see the rest of the laned homes to our left. And as you look straight down, you'll see the highway for Stony down there, along with, you'll see the Taza Exchange, which is where the Costco and the shops at Buffalo Run are also located as well. As I go ahead and pan the camera to our right, you can see the city skyline over there as well. And I just love the proximity of the community, and I love that the fact that it's sitting on a hill. You can see the city right from where your community is. I hope this car tour was helpful in giving you an idea of what the community actually looks like. So with that said, if this is your first time on my channel, please go and hit that like button, tap the subscribe button, and show a little love to the notification bell icon so I can continue to bring you the best in home tours across the city of Calgary and the surrounding areas. If you're a returning watcher, thank you again for continuing to support, like, comment, email, call. You guys have been absolutely incredible. So I cannot wait to continue showing you more homes. And with that said, until the next one.